played Sejuani in their game too, if I remember right.
Yeah, so Ine likes that Sejuani. I think I just temporarily disconnected. I don't know if how that affects the stream actually.
Oh,
Uh,
from Pikmin.
yeah, my Pickman is frozen actually. This might be a
Oh,
little bit awkward.
okay. I can recite to you what's going on. I'll give you some play-by-play
Oh, there. Oh,
casting
yeah.
of
I caught
Pikmin.
back up all of a sudden. Woof. Three bands just popped, or
Okay.
three pictures showed up on the screen. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah,
I was prepared.
yeah. No, go
But
for it. Go for it.
okay,
Let's
you
see
see
the
the
let's see the
Ash
match
and
ability.
Echo lock in. Got some, pretty safe picks there.
Hmm.
Good answer to Sejuani, having some initiation of their own. Echo being very slippery.
Yeah.
Lulu. Lulu. Oh, enchanters. Wow. Amazing. I'm excited to see Lulu. I haven't seen a Lulu in a while.
Really? It's been a big
Yeah.
it's been a big pick here in the tournament actually. We saw it, go down in defeat yesterday in the hands of Amisa 142 up against Hapuma Matata, but oh, what do you make
With
of this
Senna.
lane?
Ooh, that's interesting. Senna. I wonder if it's a solo lane Lulu, because the Senna Lulu lane does not. Senna and most enchanters don't pair very well.
Right,
So, because you need to have a support that can, preferably like a melee tanky support to farm
right.
the wave if Senna is gonna go the fasting Senna build.
Hmm.
So I'm not a huge fan of that. That's why I think it's more of a solo lane Lulu. And if every player on their team is a support player, they can solo lane Lulu. I prefer that.
True, true. Yeah. It would be interesting to see here. Support diff. I think the scouting report on them is that they want to have a hyper carry in their top lane, in the hands of Bao Bao's. So
Mhm.
if that ends up being the case, we'll probably see Sawina on mid Lulu. So not a pick that we've seen come out in the tournament thus far. Will be interesting to see
Mhm.
if again they decide to go with that, or they're just gonna try their luck with Lulu Senna, which sounds like a recipe for disaster, to be honest.
Yeah, especially now that they've locked in Ash Zyra. Like Ash Zyra is a very strong lane with a ton of poke. I think
Hmm.
that they will easily crush a Senna Lulu lane with pretty easily. So yeah, I would really be surprised if they decided to stay with a Lulu support. And I think I'd rather see the Lulu move to mid and then they can pick like a Morga support against Zyra.
Yeah. Real quick here as well, taking a look at these bans. So we have Wukong, Jax, and Viego taken away as options against Bao Bao's. We've seen here that he likes to pick Vlad as well, and Vlad has managed to slip his way through the ban phase here. Let's see if that ends up being the pickup here for support diff, or if they give Bao another type or another champion that we have not seen him play yet in this tournament.
Mhm.
I think his other champ that he's liked is, or that he's played, not necessarily liked, is Poppy, but definitely not your traditional top lane carry. And
Ooh,
nope,
and the Vlad, you called it.
yep. So there is that Vlad pref. Let's see if Andyland are prepared for this, or if you know they kind of just forgot about the rest of Bao's champ pool here, as Vlad
Yeah.
is gonna go potentially mid, potentially top.
Yeah, Vlad's a pretty strong pick. Like you need to have like guaranteed lockdown on Vlad because he's so slippery if you go phase rush and ghost and other stuff.
Hmm.
So and like yeah, I think it's a really strong pick here. Oh, and it's a support Leona, so it's a mid Lulu,
Okay.
like I mentioned. I
Yeah.
like it.
Hmm. I think here actually what we're going to see is that role swap come out between Sawina and Bao. Would not be surprised here to see Vlad go in the mid lane, Lulu go in the top lane, but it will still be piloted by Sawina, and then Bao Bao's will just rotate to the mid lane. But
Hmm.
we'll see. Given these hypothetical lane matchups where you have top lane Gragas, would you rather have Lulu or Vlad up against that?
I think Vlad is a little better against Gragas just because you can dodge like a Gragas ult if you with your pool.
Mm,
I think that Lulu, it's like slightly better, but I think that either matchup is honestly completely okay. I think as long as Vlad has like a safe lane, which both mid and top lane against like the Echo or Gragas, I think Vlad should be able to like survive and not be killed 1v1 like in any possible way. I think it shouldn't be too hard for either of them. I think they can honestly just put Vlad top mid Lulu if that's how their normal lanes are, and I think that should be completely okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on Andyland's side here, we are seeing a couple of classic picks. Gordo Lee, renowned for having a champion Ocean, gonna go with his relatively signature Echo, which we have affectionately termed the Gecko. So we're gonna see the Gecko here in the mid lane, and also Paw 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 on this Hecarim. Has that played it multiple times throughout the season, but I think it's taken far too many trips to the glue factory for anybody's liking. So we're gonna see here if he can find more success on the pony this time around.
Yeah, Hecarim is a very strong pick actually. I think against a Sejuani, you definitely want like a more high tempo jungler who can clear fast and can put pressure early. And so I like the Hecarim pick a lot. The problem with Sejuani is that they don't have any melee champions outside of Leona to help with the Sejuani stun. So
Yeah.
actually Sejuani like can't really gank, especially for two AP solo laners that are scaling. So I actually like the draft of red team a lot more than blue side.
Mhm.
Like significantly more because I think the only way blue side wins is if Vlad gets really strong, or if the
Right.
game becomes like 40 minutes long and Senna, has like a billion souls. Because those are the
Right.
only two people that are going to be doing damage, and I think that lack of damage is going to be a huge problem for them.
Yeah, especially if we see the more preferred tank Gragas up in the top lane. Gonna be having a lot of tanky damage, and Senna, as we all know, not the best tank killer. Obviously, the now meta build of Kraken Slayer and Ginsu's can help a lot with that, but if memory serves me correctly, we saw Senna in the hands of Andrew here not go the traditional Senna build. Ended up building like roughly 80% crit in items. So let's see if they did their homework there and researched the meta Senna build.
hmm Yeah, and I think and they have to be careful too because Ash Zyra is a very aggressive lane that can definitely dish out more damage than Senna can heal. So but I think bot lane is pretty much where all the action's going to be because like Vlad and Lulu are going to be, resident sleeper, and
Right.
yeah. So I really hope that Hecarim, puts a lot more priority on ganking bot as often as possible because Ash initiation, Zyra initiation, they should be able to get a
Hmm.
strong lead from there.
Yeah, similarly, I think Sejuani is going to want to put a lot of attention towards Ashe and Zyra as well. Should find decent success if Ashe and Zyra are overextended, especially if there's Leona coming in. That snare is only going to be able to stun up one, in all likelihood, of the two initiating champions. And once you get on top of Ashe and Zyra, you can have a good time, especially if they're not level 6 yet, and you don't have that Zyra ulti as disengage. So
Mm-hmm.
will be interesting to see here where the early jungle attention goes. But as we come to the end of the spectator delay here, and take a quick look at the predictions. Actually, like pretty much even 51-49 in favor, just barely, of support diff. So, gonna get some last minute money moving around here. Gonna end up being 55-45 as the final tally as I close the voting and we load into this game. Gonna be again support diff on blue side 5-3, looking to move to 6-3. Meanwhile, Andyland on red side looking to move to 7-2. So here we go.
Man, who did you put your money on?
If I could put money, I would probably put my money on Andyland here. I think their comp is a little bit easier to execute. A lot of good general initiation options available, as well as just AoE ultimates available in the hands of Hecarim, Ashe, and Zyra. It's going to make team fighting really, really hard here for the side of support diff. And so, yeah, I'm, when those team fights, I think, inevitably break out, they're probably going to go in the way of Andyland.
Yeah, I completely agree. I put a little bit of channel points into Andyland.
Okay, so
So we'll see what happens.
yeah, hopefully no caster cursoroni here for Kevin and the co. Looks like be pretty standard starts coming out here from both teams. Just going to be your standard spread. Although Sejuani here going to be found out by the Hecarim.
Yeah, and it does look like the Vlad is going to stay mid, like you predicted. The lane
Hello,
swap.
gamers.
Ooh,
Sorry, I'm late.
hey, there
Hello.
is Tiggy. Tiggy, can you just, if you spectate me, it should say I'm spectating in the client, right?
Yeah, if it's open, I think I can hop in on the spectate. Let
Okay,
me see.
cool. Yeah, so see
Cool.
if you can join just through me. All right. As we get loaded into the game, going to be joined here by Tiggy, who we've seen on the cast before. Just a little bit of background here. Tiggy and Kevin here were collegiate teammates representing CMU, so should have some good synergy on the cast as well.
Oh
All right.
man, we've had many years of synergy to build. I'm sure it's gonna translate from the game into the cast.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
I actually can't spectate. You might have to like
Oh no.
Oh. Um.
Maybe I can share with you
Discord
on
stream it.
Discord, Tinny.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
work.
yeah. Why
I
don't I
could.
just share locally with
Yeah.
you because Roger's streaming?
So Roger doesn't get.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Mhm.
That works.
Okay, hold on. Here, early level 2 here for Andyland. The Zyru going to go wide. Could have been a potential opportunity to find a kill onto Senna, but looks to not be the case. And we're seeing here, look at the difference between the clear speeds of Sejuani versus Hecarim. Hecarim already on his 4th camp. Meanwhile, Sejuani still mopping up her Krugs. I wonder if there's a bit of a mishap here. I don't know if Sejuani takes that long to clear. But
I think.
regardless, yep.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem was that Leona wasn't helping out with the leash, and Zyra got lucky with 3 seeds at the
Hmm.
start.
Right.
RNG bless. So, yeah,
I
like that
love
was the main
Zyra
reason
Leash.
why that the Hecarim got such a fast clear. And yeah, he's clearing red now, and Sejuani is just finishing blue. So
Hmm.
yeah,
So I,
red
I
team
should
up good.
say I talked with the red team, the jungler of the red team earlier today,
Hmm.
about this match, and
Yeah.
got kind of the lowdown of how they wanted to draft in this game
Hmm.
and how they wanted to prepare for the game.
He
I
was it.
expected Bao to be going top,
Hmm.
and that he would prioritize the Aurelia or the Jax, and that, as far as I could tell, red team's top laner was terrified of the Aurelia pick, and it had to be a must ban,
Ah.
and that they were planning to base
Hold on, here gonna be intentional
after some
engage onto
talks.
Ash. Ooh, gonna dodge out from that Zenith Blade. Sorry to interrupt you, Tiggy.
Hey, no.
Heavy engage here. Now gonna be Ignite landing onto Ash. Let's see if they're gonna come in for the
Oh,
flash auto
flash.
attack. Gonna go very, very
Oh.
low, but first blood still gonna go over to
Wow.
support Diff. That cleanse not gonna do anything up against the Ignite here. Meanwhile, gonna be a Vlad found out against the Hecarim. Wonder what this Vlad exactly was doing. Just going to be a solo kill for Hecarim onto Vlad. I think rotating over for a potential counter gank, but is going to mean that Vlad goes down inexplicably.
It looked like he was fighting Echo, chasing for the kill. You can see Echo's flash is on cooldown, and Vlad blew flash ignite trying to kill
Yeah.
him, and he was low. And Hecarim
Gotcha.
just came in and mopped it up.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, exactly what happened. I'm really surprised the Ash died with cleanse and still has flash up.
Hmm.
I think
So,
Ash was being very greedy there.
from what I understand, these two teams, they were very both concerned about the shared support champion pool in Lulu and Leona, actually.
Hmm.
And they felt that a lot of the draft would be based around the enemy top laner trying to hard carry
Hold on,
1v9
Rue gonna
on
land
a
here
Jax.
onto Senna. Gonna go very, very low here. Volley over the top as well. A couple more autos would be able to lock that up from Ash. But this wave has not been shoved into tower fully. This is dangerous here for support diff.
Yeah, looks like they have to recall here, and I think that they can just freeze the lane.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's what they're doing. They're freezing. I think that's the correct call here. They're gonna get a really nice gold lead, and you can even see like the CS difference when you have like a fasting center lane. Is just like Ash is 15 CS up now, and it's gonna be 20, 25 once the wave goes back to normal.
Yeah. Oh, I need to update the stream name or the team names in the stream title. Let me go ahead and do that right now.
I was a big proponent of the Gragas top lane, though, from Red Team as a counter to a would-be Jax, because Gragas is so powerful. And I use this, abuse it many times in my career playing this game to just completely dump on champions that want to engage on your team. while
Right.
also having engaged potential from the champion. And depending on how you build him, or even if he's behind, even as the AP carry build, he always has insane utility between body slam and ultimate.
Yeah, going to be a roam mid here from Zyra onto the Vlad, but just going to be a little bit of poke as the Gecko still is level 5. We're already seeing here in the mid lane a significant advantage for Vlad, even going down there to the Hecarim, still going to have about a 20 CS lead as he shoves this wave into Echo's tower. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we are seeing fasting Senna, but we're not seeing exactly CSing Leona, unfortunately. Leona only up to 19 CS compared to the now near 50 of Ashe once she picks up the rest of these minions on her towers. So, if you are Yifan, really got to load into that practice tool a little bit and practice last hitting. Not a common skill for supports, but if you want to really play this fasting Senna build, you got to have that in your locker.
Yeah, it looks like, Sejuani's congregating bot, Hecarim's congregating bot. Oh, for the scuttle. Looks like Lufat's going to take it.
This is such an insane, comp built around Vlad that blue team has.
Yeah,
it's like all based on him. If he doesn't carry, I don't know what they're.
Yeah, and I think they are playing it right though. They are trying to funnel as much pressure and relieve pressure from Vlad as much as possible. And you can see Vlad having such a big CS. I think they are definitely looking to make sure that he doesn't fall too far behind in lane, and that he gets all the buffs and he can just 1v5 the team, which he can definitely do if he gets a big enough lead.
Yeah, unfortunately, seeing here the inability to CS for Leona has resulted in about a 500 gold lead for Andyland. So they really got to work on that to really play this comp to its max potential. Also, I feel like you usually don't see Leona as part of the Fasting Senna duo. Obviously, the LCS or the Pro Play has seen a lot of Tahm Kench Senna because that's just such a good safety blanket for Senna. We've seen other things like Maokai as well, but yeah, gonna be interesting to see here what Leona does with at least a little bit of increased gold income courtesy of this farm.
Yeah, and that's the reason why you haven't seen that much Leona with Senna. It's because a lot of other supports like Alistar and Tahm Kench can make much better use of gold because they can get a Chemtech or something else, and I don't think Leona's as effective with those items.
Yeah,
and also Leona's blast hitting is just terrible. Her base auto is so bad. So
right.
I don't blame Yifan for missing CS because it's actually really hard on Leona. Leona has 69 nice CS, but her attacks, but
yeah. No, definitely. Also, it gets a ton of free stats from the Her W anyways, so
oh wow, the Zyra is roaming to help with Herald. That's very surprising.
Yeah,
I like that actually. Yeah, it's a good call by them.
I wonder what play they're gonna parlay it into. Surely she can't just be roaming top only to help on this.
Yeah, it could be a potential dive onto Lulu, right?
Yeah, I can totally see that. I mean, Ashe is cleansed. She has flash. She's level 6. I think she can play really safe, and it looks like
trading for dragon.
Yep, trading for dragon. I think that makes total sense.
So who do you guys give the advantage to here in terms of early Rift over first dragon of the game?
I think early Rift matters more. I think that if they coordinate a gank on Lulu and drop a Rift top and then start moving around the map together and start playing faster, I think red team benefits way more.
Okay, now we have a bit of a roam coming here from the bot lane of support Diff, but both Zyra and Echo securely hugging their turret means that this roam shouldn't amount to too much. And
looks like they're setting up a dive on the bot lane. Sejuani's, I mean, maybe farming.
Yeah, right now
they have Leona ult and Sejuani ult. I would probably leave turret here if I were Ashe.
Yeah, they need to be careful here, but there are a good amount of minions. Yep. Okay, so yeah, I was gonna say a good amount of minions that they would have to push into the tower here for a dive, and so that lack of a minion wave going to mean that Ashe is gonna be very happy even in a 1v2 scenario here. Now up to 81 farm compared to just 35 for Leona. And this farm lead is going to grow bigger and bigger here as well, with Hecarim taking away Sejuani's topside.
Yeah, let's see if they get the gank mid on the Vlad right now. Vlad's half health, Hecarim's charging in.
Yep, there's an enchanted crystal arrow flying down as well, and it's going to be pulled. Boo, the Sejuani ulti not going to land though, and now the Hecarim going to be sent to that glue factory. Sorry to the pop posse. There it is again. Philip going in for that gank, but unfortunately going to be turned around by a combination of just Vlad Hemoplague plus the Dawning Shadow from the Senna over the top.
Yeah, I think if he waits out of range of Vlad's damaging abilities there and then just ults in after Pool finishes, it's a kill without risking himself.
Yeah, I agree. I think he did the order a little wrong.
Yeah.
I also just feel like he should just use the Rift top. Like, I feel like mid is kind of falling far behind, and I think it's pretty hard to get the kill on Vlad because he's so like mobile, and I feel like getting the kill on Blue is significantly easier because you can't like pool or anything.
Yeah, he's basing here with 3,000 gold too, so gonna instantly pick up that Hextech Rocket Belt. Yeah, I think this Vlad is gonna accelerate here into this mid game. And we're going to see. This is the support diff special, just going to put their hopes on Bao, have their supporting characters, know their roles. Obviously, a lot of support going to come in the hands of Lulu, Senna, so should be a good time here for now the freshly double buffed up Vladimir.
Yeah, and top, at least Grokkus is also having a pretty nice lead top by himself. 2 plays down, pretty nice CS lead. I feel like this is the perfect time to use the Rift top because you can definitely get the first turret before 14 minutes if you do that. But maybe
looks like they're going to force a fight bottom lane.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable call too.
Yeah, so Hecarim here is still... Hold on, the Asher are going to land onto Senna. Now the Zyra going to come in. Oh my goodness, good night. Senna just going to go down to that explosive cast coming in. And looks like Leona going to be the next to follow there. So double kill here for Andyland, courtesy of a deep teleport coming in from Gragas. Good play there. But not going to translate too much in terms of objectives, I don't think.
I don't know if I agree with the early Herald usage. You might not finish the turret. You want it to finish turret from 50 to 0, not 100 to 50. It might not survive and get the second charge off here with that usage.
Yeah, I don't like that either. But, but it's okay. Like, they still got 2 kills from that. I think I was actually wondering why they put a pink ward in that weird alcove, because I thought that was just random.
Hecarim's greeting for enemy red buff here.
Oh.
Sejuani has ultimate.
Okay, so Sejuani gonna find. Oh no! But the Glacial Prison gonna not land here. The stun will come through, and there is gonna be that snare coming in from Senna. A couple more autos gonna be able to lock this one up. Dawning Shadow not gonna land on Hecarim actually, so should be able to eke out here and avoid a second trip to the glue factory. If you're the posse, you are celebrating that one. Almost another death here for the Hecarim, but able to get away. Unfortunately, the red buff, though, going to remain alive, which means the mission was ultimately still a failure.
Wow. Yeah, that was... Yeah, I can't believe the Hecarim got out. He just barely dodged the Senna ult there, but, very close call, but well played.
Yeah. Interestingly here, that's going to mean 3 crucial ultimate cooldowns not available for a potential Infernal Dragon fight. And meanwhile, Sejuani going to try to return the favor here, trying to steal away this blue, but let's see if it's going to end up being a smite fight. Ended up going down to 1 HP, going to be taken away by the Hecarim, but the Hecarim does not have Onslaught of Shadows, remember, going to be stunned up here. Hemoplague over the top, going to go lock them down, and now the Ashe is going to be locked up by the Leona ulti, using Cleanse to get to safety, but now all of a sudden it's 5 members of support diff here in the bot lane. Lulu teleporting in, and this dragon should be handed over to support diff with no hint of a contest.
Yeah, and Vlad's getting a little scary. I feel like, the Lulu TP right on time. I think that the other members just weren't ready on red side to contest that. But I think that's okay. You can give up another drag, but it is going to get a little scary once it gets closer and closer to Soul Point.
Yeah. So we'll be Mountain Soul this game. So we'll see if either team's able to pick that one. Actually, Sejuani here going to go very, very close in. Going to be knocked in by the explosive cast. Going to be forced to flash to safety. This Sejuani is only level 7 here. Sitting on about 920 gold. So I think should be able to pick up the Sunfire Age with just a little bit more farm. I think it's 1100 for the completion. So really needs to get to that if she wants to stand up in these team fights.
Yeah, and Rift is back up. I really hope they go for another Rift. And capture that, because they really need to take some turrets and get some pressure, because I feel like red team is on like a clock, and if they don't end the game soon before Vlad becomes level 16 with like 3 or 4 items, I think this game's gonna get super hard for them. So
Yeah, I agree. As it stands here, Vlad already comfortably level 11. Going to be able to suck with this mid wave as well. So yeah, we're going to see exactly how Vlad plays these mid-game team fights because he has the Magi Soul Stealer in the inventory. Only 3 stacks right now, so just absolute confidence coming in from Bao. Obviously has a lot of tools to make sure that he doesn't die in the hands of Lulu and Senna as well.
That's disrespectful.
Hold
and
on.
That's straight
Oh.
disrespect.
Oh, the
Oh.
arrow!
The arrow, Spog.
Yeah,
Oh,
so gonna
man.
be an unfortunate face check coming in from the bot lane of Support Diff, gonna result in the Hecarim and Echo finding a lot of success. So good
That's
play
who you want the
coming
gold
out.
on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ash Gold is good too here, but I would expect Ash to just fall over. She'll get capsized by Vlad,
Oh,
no matter
and
how many
Sejuani.
items she get at a certain
Yeah.
point in this game.
Meanwhile, Sejuani gonna be found out here by Gragas, but gonna be comfortable here because there is a Vlad on the way. This Gragas still relatively tanky, although not a whole lot of magic resist. Stun gonna land in from the Sejuani, but needs to be careful that Zyra Plant is still pecking her to death. So gonna be a retreat here from Sejuani, which will mean that this overall is a map win for Andyland.
Vlad has both. He almost has Ignite and he has Flash here with ult, with the Proto belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can do some
The
pretty
new Proto
serious
belt,
damage.
whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, the rocket belt.
The rocket belt. Yeah, I think it's fair call to back off from Rift. Like, Vlad with everything up can definitely, like, 1v3 the fight, especially since Hecarim wasn't quite there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's better to play it safe, take some camps. I like this, you know.
Yeah.
Good play.
Yeah. As it stands here, let's take a look at how this Fasting Senna is doing, sitting at, exactly 60 stacks. So a good, if not great, amount of souls to be having at this stage in the game. Going to mean that obviously she has 75 increased attack range along with, I think, 30% crit. So needs to really obviously farm a little bit and build up to that Kraken Slayer before she can really have an impact on these team fights. Looks like Sejuani here, meanwhile, going to go back towards the Rift Herald. So, yeah, going to be an attempt started here, but Gragas should be wise to it. Going to be roaming down here. Will spot Sejuani attempting this for the second time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gragas should be a
Hecarim's
little
a bit
careful.
far out.
Hold on, these charge
Sejuani's
going to
ult is
land.
almost up.
Yep, so going to be forced to flash, and actually the Asher are going to be used here. Not going to be able to find the mark on Vlad. And now, if you're Andyland, you really got to be careful. Vlad, again, as you mentioned, Tiggy, has everything available. So, Rift Herald going to be picked up here by Sejuani, but looks to be an engage coming in from Gragas, and now Hecarim going to go over the top, going to be able to solo out the Senna if she's not able to get some peel.
Oh, the root?
Yep, so Senna going to go down
Vlad.
first here, but
He
now the
killed
Vlad
Vlad.
in the back. Vlad
Yes,
going to go
the
very, very low, going to be forced to flash to safety. Galulu going to go down as well, now going to be
It's a
retreat. Yeah, this should be at least 4 members picked up, maybe 5, 4th, Andyland. And Leona going to go down, Echo going to come in, flash in, a couple more autos. They're going to be a team-wide ace for Andyland. No one going down on the side of Andyland. It's going to mean this is a 5-0. Wow.
I have to imagine Vlad hesitated there. He had the perfect flank on the back line, and somehow the camera moved, and I look back, and he's rooted in Zyra's ultimate.
Yeah, I think he got,
despite having flash.
Yeah, the root, I think, what really stopped him there. I think Zyra just played that really well, because I think he absolutely should have been able to 1v2 that fight. Because Hecarim just literally just mowed down that Senna. Like, I felt so bad because, you know, Senna had no peel, and I think Hecarim just took over that entire team fight.
The way that fight was supposed to play, I was supposed to be backline trade for backline trade, and it ended up just being a full wipe because Vlad couldn't 1v2 the backline.
Yeah, and they lost all his Magi stacks, his 3 precious Magi stacks.
Yeah, that's a bit of a sedge. Gonna now open up approximately 5,000 gold lead for Andyland here. Should also give them the Mountain Dragon, so we'll stop the dragon stacking here for Support Diff, which is huge as it prevents the Mountain Soul win condition as a potential avenue for Support Diff.
It looks like a bunch of ultimates went unused too. I'm not certain what the cooldowns were, but I mean, just 15 seconds ago, Wild Growth and Senna and Leona.
Hold on, gonna be a Leona engage over the wall onto Zyra. The Solar Flare though not gonna land squares. Actually, still going to be picked up here. Now the Ashe going to come in, going to lock up Leona. Leona will be the trade kill here for Andyland. Gragas going to now knock Vlad in. I don't think Vlad has the pool available. Yep, going to go down to the concentrated fire from Echo and Ashe. And now Echo going to have a good time here against Sejuani as well. So 2 for 1 in favor of Andyland.
The Gragas engages are carrying red team right now across the board.
Yeah.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Gauss has been super useful in these fights, and I think that's like he's really been playing it well. Like, soaking up a lot of damage, dashing away, absorbing pressure, and then finding the right time to ult as soon as the pool is down, and then they get the free lockdown.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what the pick order was, but I have to imagine the Lulu pick was supposed to be a top counter, like punishing maybe a melee pick or being safe, while also taking the Lulu away from red side. But it's just, I mean, the top diff is real here in terms of impact. I think Lulu had the 1 TP, and that's been about it.
Yeah,
I think they just need to wait more for Vlad to get stronger. I think they're just missing their timings right now. I think blue team needs to avoid fighting. They have to just try to scale right now. They're so much weaker compared to red side.
Yeah. We're also
and
seeing
Echo's
here
completely back in the game. 404 after being down almost 50 CS earlier.
Yep. Yeah, Lulu just hasn't really been able to get through multiple spell rotations in these team fights. And Gragas obviously is going to have a really impactful first rotation with that ultimate ability. We saw it in the Herald fight. The explosive cast knocking Leona away from Senna gave Hecarim the runway to really get on top of Senna and just solo her out. So gotta keep an eye on the positioning of Gragas if you are support diff so that these explosive casts don't do too much. Hold on, Zyra now gonna be overextended again. Good night. Holy crap. That was the Sejuani ultimate used, but nevertheless, going to now give them the push on to mid lane tower here. Meanwhile, though, Echo is split pushing here in the bot lane. Doesn't have the Lich Bane completed just yet, but is still going to have a good time up against this tier 2 bot tower.
Yeah, it's just disrespectful. Disrespectful to leave turret when Sejuani and Leona are up and you don't have perfect vision.
Right.
If you don't know where those two are, you have to assume it's coming from Fog, and just leaving your turret, especially as an immobile, squishy support in Zyra, is asking to die on cooldown.
Yeah, but as it stands, Echo here going to make sure that the Zyra death is not in vain. Going to push a huge wave into this tier 3 turret. And actually, the split pressure going to mean that Andyland is going to walk in and pick up the mid tier 1 as well. So in the grand scheme of things, ends up being a net positive in terms of gold for red side.
I'm kind of curious why Vlad is not farming side lane at this point. It seems to me as though Senna, Leona, Sejuani should be roaming from mid with the...
Hold on, going to be engaged here onto the mid lane. Ashe and Treasure Crystal Arrow going to find the Vlad, which will mean that Senna going to go down solo to the Hecarim once again. This Vladimir in pool not going to live for long. And this Lulu just really hasn't been able to get part of these team fights and really help her team live through this burst coming out from Andyland.
That was just a Hecarim 1v1ing
Senna. That was just a power Hecarim.
Both personas.
Yeah, this Senna is not having a good time.
Hecarim versus Senna just feels so bad for Senna. I really wish they went for a Baron call here. I think this would have been perfect time to do it. Vlad's down. They have 0 damage, but seems like they're just
kind of curious why.
I mean, it's okay. They can just play it safe. Maybe they're more focused on prepping for the next dragon that's coming up. I think it's a very low chance it could have thrown a Baron, but they might as well just play it safe and make sure that they
Hecarim has 3 levels on the Sejuani, and I mean, maybe she still manages to get in, but yeah. I would care more about Vlad being dead than the jungler being dead for the Baron call in this matchup.
Yeah, what is a Sejuani, Leona, Lulu going to do? Especially when your top lane Lulu went...
You just turn and fight them.
Yeah, this is rough. This is definitely rough here for support diff. This Vlad, after getting off to a good start, has really not been able to get into this mid game. And if he's not ahead in terms of damage, now the Hecarim here with the Sterix Gauge, we see Gragas here picking up both Merc Treads and Spear Visage. Going to mean that the front line here of Andyland is going to be very durable, especially with Senna stuck in relative poverty as well. Hecarim here now going to go aggressive here onto Sejuani. Aftershock going to be procced and try to buy some time, but going to go down very, very slowly but surely. Hecarim, going to turn around now. Chan Chris are going to land onto Leona. Lulu going to go down first here, courtesy of Echo. And now the Dawnsong Shadow's over the top. Oh my goodness, good, nice Senna. The Dawning Shadow not going to do too much. Now Sejuani going to go in, now going to flash out. The Hemoflake going to land onto 3, but very, very durable here. If you are Hecarim, and Greg is going to mean that 3 kills are taken by Andyland compared to 0 for support diff.
I mean, Lulu dies using ultimate on Vlad with flash still available after death.
Yeah, I think Vlad needs to go more aggressive in these fights and flash onto the Ash Lyra and kill them. I think that's
Yeah.
the only way they can possibly win a fight. And I think that, at this point, being 9k behind, like that was the fight you needed to win, or else they're gonna get Baron or Dragon. So
Yep. So with that win in the mid lane here, going to now even up the dragon count at 2-2. Andyland on the verge of running away with the game at this point. 10,000 gold ahead, 17-5 in terms of kills. Pole positioning onto Baron as well. Let's see if they decide to take that and really secure this game. Thus far, just going to be farming back out here. Echo going to be more than content to split push. Does not have teleport, interestingly, so cannot join his team in the event of a fight. And Sejuani here actually going to charge aggressively towards Echo. But Sejuani showing bot, going to give Andyland the confidence to start this Baron now. So
Yeah.
Echo drawing a ton of pressure.
Here comes Vlad.
Mhm.
Syra's not there. Vlad
Okay.
has flash and ult up.
Yep. So this is the avenue of comeback here for Vlad. Baron does shred the magic resist here of the members, so we'll see if they are able to find the engagement. No, Vlad is forced to pull very, very early. The explosive cast is going to knock Vlad to safety, but there's an echo here. Wild Growth's going to try to buy him some time. Hemoplague now going to land, and Vlad actually should be able to live through for the Hemoplague heal. There it is, but still, look at this Hecarim doing so much damage. Now going to be on the retreat here, so Sejuani going to be the first offering for support Diff. And they're still on the run here. Leona went down in the midst of that as well. Look at this Gragas, not a care in the world. Now going to strut back towards Baron with the rest of his team. And this Vlad is just sad.
Lulu's flash is still up. Senna's heal is still up. And Hecarim limps away with his life.
yeah, that was actually very close to being good for Blue. I think that they just barely weren't able to kill the Vlad because of all the Lulu heals. Oh. Careful, Vlad.
Oh my goodness, the Dawning Shadow here. Now the Echo going to come back in, try to find one E onto. Will not be able to find it, but it actually means that the Baron does not end up being taken.
I mean, I think Vlad probably kills them if he built something other than Magi's there.
I think so too. Yeah.
Despite whatever the gameplay is, that's losing to Shopkeeper right there in the fight.
Yeah. As it stands, Vlad finally able to pick up his second real item of the game in the Void Staff to try to combat this magic resist stacking coming in from Andyland. Meanwhile, for support Diff, Senna now sitting at 95 stacks, so does have a decent amount of AD banked up here, but we're seeing here the problem with Senna is not the fact that she doesn't have enough damage, it's that she doesn't have enough peel. This Hecarim has just been sitting on top of her the entire game, and no way for Senna to really get out of that.
Yeah, I think the Senna needs to start taking CS now. She finished her quest. She needs to get more farm. I think that they have such a big lack of damage right now. I think you can't have Vlad be the only one doing damage in these fights. Because these fights are so close, like we saw in the last fight. I think if Senna just had one more item, I think he would have been able to win that fight easily. So
yeah, definitely. Senna now again, as you said, still has the Rage Knife in her inventory, so at least won't be losing to Boris this time around. But now, gonna be Echo looking for something. But yeah, sitting on 103 stacks, more than stacked up enough, I think, at this stage in the game. And
the Vlad ult in the bottom lane.
Okay, gonna be a fight here in the bottom lane.
Gragas actually clapping?
Yeah, meanwhile, Sejuani ends up picking up by Ashe, so we're gonna see if the Echo comes in. Ooh, the Chrono Shift almost landing onto Echo. Now the Lulu gonna be heavily overextended against 4 members of Andyland. Sorry about that, the camera I think was stuck on Ashe. I accidentally clicked on her, but Leona going to be running for her life, courtesy of the Wild Growth, should be able to live. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Gragas actually comes out on top in the 1v1 versus Vladimir, and with those wins, going to mean that Andyland should be finally able to pick up this Baron.
Yeah, I really like the call for having Gragas to split push right now. I don't think there's anyone on blue side that can 1v1 the Gragas, especially when he has Spirit Visage. Yeah. I think it's a great call. And it brought the Vlad down. Now they take the Baron for free. Really well played macro.
Yeah. So this should be the beginning of the end here for support Diff. Down 5-20 in the kill department. Down 12,500 gold with the third mountain dragon of the game spawning here. This mountain dragon stacking is not going to do Vlad nor Senna any favors either. As you mentioned already in the pregame, Kevin, this is a really low damage comp, and if you have extra resist against really two threats coming out, it's just going to be so hard for support diff to find any sort of kills.
I don't think Vlad has the items.
Yeah.
He won't, even if they get a clean team fight win here.
Yeah, and
Which
Senna
is what they
refuses
need.
to farm. She literally gave the whole wave to Lulu for no reason. I think they're just not playing the Senna right at all. I'm
Yeah.
slightly disappointed with that. Ooh, and looks like they're all charging bot with Baron.
Okay, so the dragon going to be picked up here, and yep, it's going to be all 5 members of Andyland pushing down towards the bot lane inhibitor. This turret already down to about half HP. We'll see.
Vlad has no flash for the flank.
Yeah,
this
we're going
will
to
probably
see
be free.
if Andyland decide to go for the dive. Gragas going to fat over the wall, going to eat a center root for his troubles, but look at that. The only ulti actually able to find Ashe here. Going to be a Tanglethorns over the top. Going to be able to knock up two. And now the Gragas is still holding ultimate here. Got to watch out for that explosive cast. Echo going to go in. Leona going to go very, very low. Volley over the top. Able to pick that one up. Also, Shadows over the top. Now going to be able to pick up Vlad as well. And this should be game, ladies and gentlemen. The members of Supportive in full retreat. All 5 members still alive here for Andyland. And it looks like this will be the game. A 32-minute win here for Andyland over Support Diff, going to squarely put them at the top of the standings. GG.
Yeah, well played, Andyland. They picked a really. I think they honestly won a draft. They have a really strong draft, and they executed their team plan super well. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
Well played.
Okay, so GG, ladies and gentlemen, to Andyland, able to pick up the win here. Let's see what's going on in Twitch chat. Can I get a refund because Bao's team plays Genshin instead of League? True. Especially because there's no games. Are there really no game sounds on the stream? Smooge. I thought I fixed that issue already. But yep, gonna be GG. Let's take a look at some of the big plays coming out here in this game. So Support Diff able to race out to an early lead, but the first real team fight in this game came courtesy of a teleport in the alcove coming in from Gragas, and this really started the snowball, I think, for Andyland. The explosive catch is one-shotting the Senna.
Yeah, I think out of everyone on Andyland, I think Gragas played the best easily. Like, I think he knew where to be. He had really good teleports, really good flanks. He absorbed a ton of pressure every single fight. Like, he made sure he never got caught, even though like he just ran in first to take damage. Like, he really played the champion very, very well.
Yeah, the second play we're going to take a look at here is the fight over second Herald, which I really hate to see. The second Rift Herald is one of the lowest value plays in the game. I think teams should only really take it when, it's like super uncontested. But a 5v5 breaks out here, and we're seeing the power of the Gragas in this engage. Lulu split off from the rest of her team, and the explosive cast going to split off the Sejuani and the Leona from the
Let's look at
Senna.
Vlad here.
Yeah.
See what happens. He's going to eat a root without flashing.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at the Vlad perspective here. So Vlad, actually going to walk, I think had eyes on the Gragas Echo, and so wasn't aware of a potential Zyra root coming in, and unfortunately going to flash towards his team as opposed to towards the Zyra and Ashe. Meant that there was no hint of that backline trade that you mentioned, Tiggy.
Yeah, I mean, imagine he flashes the root there.
Yeah, I think if he flashed the root, he 100% would have 1v2'd that fight. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And the only reason they're losing this is because Ashe and Zyra come in to support.
Right.
Yep.
It's brutal.
Yeah. So I think that ended up just really being the big team fight, and then after that, Andyland with good macro going to be able to secure the lead. Yeah, the rest of this game just ends up being I think really the Hecarim and Gragas show. The Senna just unable to play the game from behind, obviously. So yeah, GG to Andyland. We're going to hear from them shortly.
A little bit of throws here and there with running into the ultimates, but what can you do?
Yeah, what can you do? Okay, so with that then, going to Let's bring up some of the members of Andyland. So we're gonna grab the Gragas, the Echo, and then, we're gonna grab your boy Tiggy.
Law, I've been kidnapped.
You have been kidnapped, Joshi. A lot of positive things have been said about you and your Gragas this game, so
Aww.
obviously we had to do it. So yeah, GG to Andyland. Now you guys are at 7-2, squarely atop the standings now in pole position for that number 1 seed. Congratulations. Let's take a quick look at the damage charts here for this game. Hecarim going to be the leader in damage, so good shit, Philip. And Vlad and Senna leading the way here for support diff. Ash and Echo, second and third for Andyland. Okay, so first question here going to go to Joshi on the Gragas. Not a pick that we've seen you come out with so far in the tournament, if memory serves. So what made you decide to go with Hecarim this game? Or no, sorry, with Gragas this game. Sorry.
So I actually in the very first week of this tournament, when Gragas was super meta. I had actually never played this champion before this tournament, and I was like, all right, I really just need to learn this champion. And so I played 3 games, had a combined 15 KDA over 3 games. All right, I think I can pull this out in tournament. And then today, we were looking at numbers around the champion and saw that it was really, really good against Jax, even though we banned the Jax. But the idea was, after we picked up the Echo early, we needed something to absorb Sejuani ult, so we needed to play a tank, and Gragas is probably the best pure tank on patch.
All right, so yeah, a lot of thought given to the fat man here, and I think those ultimates did a ton of work in terms of isolating that poor Senna for the Gecko. So Gordon finally pulled out your signature Echo. Ended up finishing, what was it, 8-0 and 8? Yep. Very aesthetic score. So what was the key to success in that game, especially since you had an early deficit?
Well, I just never felt like I was in danger. I used ult, I think, once that game.
Yep.
And that was when I was level 16. And yeah, I was allowed to farm up and then group up with my team and look for plays around the map.
Yeah. Definitely, I think the beneficiary of those massive explosive casks, able to get out to a very, very respectable score, but no Magi's, man. Where's the Magi's? If you're in no real danger, you're never gonna die.
stole it.
Yeah, I guess so. Definitely.
I mean, we're talking Magi's here. Magi's probably made the difference in the team fight, as I noted for the enemy Vlad.
Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, last question. I think, Tiggy or Kevin, if you guys want to ask your boy here, Philip, some questions about the Hecarim play, I'm gonna leave it to you guys.
Well, I know earlier today I was helping brainstorm some ideas for how to counter a Jack-centric team comp. So I was a little worried when I loaded up the match and I saw they were dealing with a, protect the Vlad comp, but
no, I thought
seemed to mostly work.
Yeah,
the
I thought
Hecarim
Hecarim was
and
a really
the
good pick. Yeah, I think you needed an aggressive jungler against Sejuani, and I think you guys drafted extremely well. I think draft alone gave you a huge lead in this game. So good job on the homework.
Hey. Okay, so we have a question from the audience. Technically for me, courtesy of Princess Handjob. So Princess Handjob asks, kill, fuck, marry, Hecarim, paw, or Philip? So I'm gonna kill Hecarim because I don't want to do anything sex related with that champion. I'll fuck paw, and then I'll marry Philip. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It'll be a good time.
Paw's freaky, so that
It's like the alter ego. You know, you can't have too much. You can't have too much paw all at once. So, Anyways, congratulations. Hopefully, correct answer. Good job, says Princess Handjob. All right, sweet. I'm glad I aced that one. Anyways, congratulations to Andyland once again. Now it's 7-2 on the season. I haven't done the math, but you guys are definitely going to be in the playoffs. So, probably going to be the number 1 seed if things shape up. But still, technically, a lot of games to go, including 2 triple headers this weekend. So we're going to see exactly how the playoff race shapes up over the coming days. Meanwhile, for support, Diff can still definitely hold their heads high at 5-4. Will still be squarely in the playoff hunt. So not too sad about that one. I want to say thank you as well to my co-casters today, Tiggy and Kevin. Haxer, appreciate you guys coming on the cast. Hopefully see you guys again. And yeah, we're gonna look forward to the weekend. So tomorrow.
Can I give a shout out?
Oh yeah, of course.
Can I give a shout out to Jeff for having won more money off of the channel points this game than I have ever had in any channel.
Oh man, gotta find some way for him to distribute those points to you. As you know, I think you've done a lot for him and his portfolio, Josh. So yeah, good stuff. Okay. Anyways, looking forward to the weekend here. We're gonna have another game. Andyland will be on stage again tomorrow in yet another clash of top contenders up against PokeCard. So PokeCard have not played too many games here in the second round robin, but they are technically sitting at second place at 5-3. So with a win over PokeCard, Andyland would definitely cement themselves as clear favorites for the number 1 spot. So we'll see how that game goes. That will be at 8 p.m. PST tomorrow. And then we will have triple headers on both Saturday and Sunday. Should be very, very exciting. Okay, so with that, going to bring the stream to a close. Tiggy or Kevin, do you guys have any closing thoughts? Hello.
Yeah, there was some good games today. Thanks for having us on, Roger.
Yeah, appreciate it. Anytime. All right.
Good job with the Gragas pick. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, baby, best in
Yeah.
I think he's very biased towards Gragas.
Yeah, I guess so.
Gragas salesman.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Okay. So, yep, with that, we'll be back again tomorrow, 8 p.m. PST. Do not miss it. Good night, Twitch chat.
Good night, babies.